Want to be seen and sold? This video is for you. This is Amazon KDP. I'm sharing how I rank my books on page 1, and these are low content books. So I've only done this one time with my written book, and it only lasted like a week. So this method is for notebooks, composition notebooks, journals, activity guides, mazes, math workbooks, coloring books. My lowest BSR is like 1,500, 1,500. And I want to show you that I don't have a perfect customer rating. Like, I even had some spammy people click number 1, right? Without even leaving a review. So don't let a bad review. I think the first time I got a bad review, I was like devastated because I'm a people pleaser. Well, I'm a recovering people pleaser. But does that one review affect my rank in this BSR? It doesn't look like it, right? So let's go over the 5 things that we need to do to rank our books, okay? We need to understand Amazon's algorithm, okay? Which means we need to understand Amazon's audience. Just replace the word algorithm with audience. What are they looking for? Research the keywords, put them in our book titles and our descriptions. Make our books beautiful, right? Use the meta tags in the back end for highly searched keywords. When we say keep your content fresh, like, do the A+ content. If the book sells one time, it deserves A+ content. The second thing is to care about your cover design and branding. Success leaves clues. You've seen in previous videos people that are selling really well and they don't have extra books in there. Do yourself a favor and create a complement book to your book that's selling. Success leaves clues, okay? You don't have to wonder what does well on Amazon. You can look it up. You can write down on a notepad, what makes this book successful? It's pretty, the description, the features, okay? As you're doing this cover design, think about your customer. Read the bad reviews. Oh, I could fix that. Fix the bad reviews with your next book. This is all part of knowing who your customer is, right? We want to, so the reason why I always say this is because you need to speak to your customer. You need to know why their life stinks without your book. Okay? If you can do that, you are light years ahead of your competition. Now, these are just the basics, right? This is number 4. Optimize your book title and description. Don't keyword stuff, but use actual things that people are looking for. Make your book description relevant and compelling by talking to the customer. What is their life like without the book? Okay. This next step, is that step number 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My favorite. Numero 5 is my favorite. If you created a word, pardon me, if you created a book off of a keyword, that is now your inspired keyword. Run ads to that keyword. Use the ad strategies that I've taught. Run ads for your book's competition. And when you do this, usually if you're doing it right, you're competing against a best-selling book already. So it's already ranking. So you're just trying to rank your book too. After you are running ads, it's all about optimization of the ads. Looking at the targets, turning off targets that aren't profitable. Looking at, can I actually target my book against my competition's book if I'm doing a lottery ad? There's testing involved, but these are all the ways I've gotten on page 1 for my books. And I'm always researching how to keep my books in number 1. I get really excited for those one-hit wonder, those big sales, but I immediately think, all right, I need a list of every keyword my book is ranked for, and I need to run ads to it, and I need to keep it going. Once you have sales coming in, you have a responsibility to take care of that book and to find more customers for your book. If your book is able to help people, It's your job to find the people. The algorithm's already really good, but you can make the algorithm better by telling it to go after certain keywords. And once your book starts selling, think about if you need a website. Think about if you need a space, a community space for people to come and do the workbook together, to come and do the coloring book together, okay? Something I've been experimenting is collaborating with bloggers and influencers. And it's been kind of interesting. I need to do a separate video on it because I'm having difficulty knowing if it's helping me. I was already on page 1 with my books, but I just wanted to try more of this. So if you feel like me talking about working with bloggers and influencers would be beneficial to you, then let me know. Maybe we put influencers in the comments so I can definitely see that. Because after my best-selling books were blocked, I wanted to leverage my power outside of Amazon too. So I really started thinking about influencers. And so I've worked with 7 or 8 influencers. And the jury is still out with some of them, but then others, I can share my feedback. It's really important to expand your presence online, especially if your book does well. And that's, it brings me to the next point of like, is it time to create a blog or a website for your book? And I put WordPress here, but I should have wrote Canva because it is so easy with Canva just to plug and go, especially if you have the pro account. So just a reminder that we're using keywords that are in demand. Okay. And I don't always put keywords in my book title, but for sure it's in the subtitle, for sure it's in the description, and for sure it's in the metadata in the back end. And then ads, I'm going crazy on ads because I actually like to try to rank my book's title as a new keyword because then I know what to run ads to and people start typing that in. And to me, it is more powerful to have a customer type in the exact title of your book because your customers not coming up with it. So I try really hard to have some different creative names. And I really like that aspect of it because that's happened to me a couple times where they were short words and now people look for them on their own. And that did take money, right? That took me optimizing my ads. But it's not like someone's coming in and is like, coloring book for painters age 3 through 5. Like I'm using something more creative. So people are like, creative painter book, boom. Like they're going right to my book. I think that also helps keep me on page 1. But using relevant keywords in your metadata, that is the organic base and foundation of your success. So don't dismiss that opportunity. And, when we talk about reviews, like if you are using a QR code inside your book to build your email list, then you can start getting to know your customers and you can ask them. I had a friend that she bought my book, The Authenticity Guide, and her husband actually read it instead of her. And he left me a review. It was a 4-star review. It wasn't 5 stars. And it was so nice. But I had to follow up with her 2 or 3 times to be like, hey, did he enjoy the book? She's like, yeah, he really liked it. I'm like, can he leave a review? So if you have people on your email list that will do that, or even like if you've made a book and your friends bought it, if they're a buying customer, it's okay to ask for reviews. It's a call to action. It helps your book. And when I wrote respond to every book, I meant in terms of like taking that feedback in. So I showed you my review status of one of my books, 68, 4.5 star or something. I took that into account for my next book and wrote in the description more because it was almost just like a misunderstanding. Okay, so pay attention to the reviews because it's how you can make your book better. And then inside the book, offer that incentive like I always, if you give people something, a freebie, and they come on your list, you're not necessarily incentivizing them to leave a review, but they're letting them know, hey, if this book helped you, please leave a review and let our other customers know. And they'll go on to Amazon and they'll leave a review. So it's really important to incentivize that because sometimes people need reminders. And sorry, there's a typo here. So if you have an email list with your books, your customers, then you're able to email them more and say, hey, this book's coming out. I'd love to give you guys a digital copy and, different incentives. You need to make sure your QR code and your bonus doesn't exceed what's in your book because that is disappointing content and it's a misleading experience for the customer. So essentially, I use the foundation of all of these things in my creation process, right? Like I'm not actually just making stuff up. I already did that when I first started. I already made up I did what I wanted to do and it didn't sell. But once I had that keyword, that's where I got serious. And then you guys know my sweet spot is Amazon ads. So please subscribe so I can support you more on these videos so you can rank more books. Love you guys. Peace out.